Okay, let's go.
He wants to jump
1,000 cars. Sir, you have 1,000 cars.
I don't think I'd attempt to try this stunt.
Or we owe this horsepower to Uncle Sam.
Too many cars.
Car. Roses would be.
Like I put my beer belly on it.
If you can't immediately tell somebody how many cars you have,
you'll really give those uppity yuppies something to think about.
Stay on the bar. Don't go off the bar with your Bronco.
1980 Volvo horns, which are like, I want a man's coolant.
and he's like, "Oh, I thought it'd be small. It's for a small car." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's still an automatic transmission. They're never going to be light."
It's definitely going to have to crash.
Starting off with Brad buying another car.
That's the West. Internet.
You know, is this a Nigerian oil print?
I also wish you drove a tan Camry.
Anyways,
Anyway,
that's a
horrible,
very
horrible podcast content.
very
Talking about a picture.
inside joke.
It loves to be driven hard.
Off topic. How are you?
We're going to title this one, the one where he holds the mic closer to his face.
All right. Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah, apologies for
working on
last
improvements.
week's sound issues.
We'll get there. It's only been almost 9 years. We'll figure it out eventually.
The last two have been challenging. A lot has gone on. A lot has changed. My internet is terrible. Life is what it is. So we're working on some of those things still, again, frustratingly, but it is what it is. Hopefully there's not too much of a delay, not too much talking over each other. It's all my internet.
Yeah. So what people don't know is the way the internet works in Arizona is it travels to the Arizona border and then is transported via stagecoach to your house and back and forth. So
we have trains.
That's how it works.
Okay?
That's why it's so slow. Transcontinental Railroad.
What I will say is that it is outdated because we don't have fiber in our neighborhood. We do have fiber in Phoenix, just not here. So the internet at my house is still transmitted via telephone line. So it's not modern by any standards.
I'll never forget. I went to mail you something within the last, obviously the time frame that you lived there. So the last like 5 years.
6.
And the guy at the post office here was like, man, Phoenix is kind of far away. I'm like, yeah, but it's like 2021.
Are you walking to there before me? Or are you putting it on an airplane? What is happening now?
Yeah, wait, there's U.S. Mail has trucks and planes. I don't.
Sorry to make you work so hard, sir.
Yeah, the guy at the counter that walks it to the back, then it puts it on the conveyor belt that brings it to wherever it goes.
The guy's walking all the way to
Weird,
Phoenix.
but whatever. Yeah, I guess so. So, yeah, what do we got going on? I went to the NASCAR race. That was cool. You want to talk about that since I was there?
It was a wonderfully good race.
It was one of the better races I've seen it in New Hampshire in a while. And I think I haven't watched the broadcast yet. I kind of forgot because I was there, but I think they had adjusted the tire compound. It seemed, is what I kind of heard in person. They were talking about it. I don't know if you remember that from the broadcast. They did some. I mean, I felt like last year it was kind of a freight train of cars. There wasn't much passing, and then this year it had multiple lanes, which was cool. Unless I'm misremembering last year, but it did rain at one point.
This year was really good. They were 3 and 4 wide for most of the race. There was a lot of passing. There was a lot of movement. There was a lot going on all race long, and the tire compound was perfect. Like the way it wore, the way everything happened, the way it gripped all over the place. Like it was cool. I forget how bumpy New Hampshire is though until I see the broadcast.
Yeah, I don't think they've repaved it in quite a while. And normally I'm just doing, when I do track days there, we just do the front straight, and then before turns 1 and turn 2, you turn hard left, and you go through a chicane, and you pop out back on the back straight for like a second, and then go up into the field where the RVs are all parked up around the hill. But yeah, that was a cool race, and weather was great, and I didn't. It's kind of like it must be really frustrating for someone like Josh Berry, who was in the playoffs last week, and then is out, and then ran really well at New Hampshire. So
Josh Berry or SVG, both of the same situation, where they were running really well until they weren't, and didn't really matter much because they're out of the contention for the actual playoff.
well, that's the thing with Josh Berry in the 21. He did get wrecked, but then he came back. It was like, whoa, okay, that's cool. So, but SVG and the 99 of Suarez got caught up. Brad Keselowski did some weird move and caused a big wreck coming out of turn 2. And
Keselowski was
like,
there's
I
a hole
couldn't
down
really
here
see
that's
it.
not big enough for my car, but maybe I can make it work.
Yeah, I couldn't really see it from where we were sitting because we're like halfway up the stands. So I saw the replay after, and I was like, what was he doing? Because it was like from the helicopter, you're like, oh, okay, there was no room for you there at all, and just threw the 2 Trackhouse cars ended up into the wall. And because I was sitting there, and both of them came down pit lane and went in behind in the garage. You're like, oh, that's not good. And then I saw Suarez walking from the garage with his suit off, and you're like, well, he must be done for the day. So SVG did get back out there. I don't know how many laps down he was, but it was a shame because he qualified really well, up in like 8th, I think, pretty high, the top 10, and then was running like, or maybe qualified like 10th or something. Qualified pretty high, and then he was running in the top 10 most of the beginning part of the race, which is cool. And I was happy for him because it was mostly Ford, Penske, but the Toyotas were running pretty well too. So
Definitely a Penske day, no
wasn't
question.
much
They were
challenging from the Chevys. Yeah, yeah, and the 21 is aligned with Penske because they're a Ford team. So that's not surprising that they were also fast. Because I did watch the qualifying, and he had the fastest. Josh Berry had the fastest qualifying time for like several cars, like 8 or 10 cars. And then Joe Logano took the pole away, like the last car out. So, but anyway, Marco was excited that Joe Logano was doing well because for some reason he likes him. I don't know. I think he's like goofy, childlike nature that Joe Logano has.
Marco just likes to heal.
I guess. It's so funny watching driver interactions and everybody booing for Hamlin. Like it's like half boos, half cheers. So funny.
It used to be all booze. It's recently changed to the half and half. I think, honestly, ever since he started recording a podcast every week and people got to know him a little better, he turned a lot of people's opinions on him.
Yeah, and I still don't understand how Chase Elliott is so popular because he just doesn't do that well, or he hasn't in the past like since the next gen car. He's been kind of
That has zero personality.
people love him.
So
yeah,
he's just an Elliott.
but they were even trying to interview him before the race, and he was just like, yeah, I don't know, I gotta go fast," and then like didn't talk to the guy. It was like, okay, all right, but whatever. Yeah, definitely worth it. They're moving, so next year it's not going to be a playoff race, but it's going to be in the middle of August. So probably one of the final races before the playoffs. So that should be interesting as well. It'll probably be a lot hotter, but I don't know. I've already I bought tickets for next year already, so looking forward to it.
Less of a chance of rain in New England in August than there is in September.
In both August and September, there's also a chance of rain than in like June or July. It's been dry the last couple summers from like August to September, so except for today. And we're talking about the rain. We're back at it. There we go.
It's going to rain here tomorrow, so we'll make up for it.
All right. Yeah. So eventually the race was won by Blaney, which apparently was his first win at New Hampshire. I didn't realize. So that was kind of cool. Got to hold the lobster. They give you a lobster at the end, like a big old. They said this year it was 23 pounds. And I think, off the top of my head, I don't know. This is what they said over the announcement, but it's probably true. 23-pound lobster is like 100 years old, which makes sense.
Wow, takes a while to grow 'em.
Think about that. That thing survived out there for 100 years or so, and didn't get eaten by anything else. So, yeah, because that does make sense actually. Now I'm thinking of it, because like a pound and a half lobster, like the one you usually get like at a restaurant, the like what you think of when you see a lobster. Those lobsters are like 7 years old. So that makes sense that a big one would be close to 100. So pretty
It's
crazy.
interesting. I just
But
looked it up because I was curious.
anyway,
And it says that, they could be 95 to 100, but they could be even older because as they get to that size, their growth slows. So it could be up to like 140 years.
that's kind of wild. That thing has been around since before airplanes existed.
Yeah.
And it's like, what am I doing here? Being held in front of all these people. So
Last time I was
yeah,
to land, I
I don't
saw
know.
horses.
That's pretty
Now I
wild.
see cars. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Wild. Lobster facts on Off Topic. Because New England podcast.
It's the off-topic portion.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how else to relate. I don't think there's anything else that relates lobsters to cars. So, other than you come here and you take a nice drive up Route 1 and get all the seafood you want.
And you
You
come
go have
visit
a
me, and you
lobster.
can get a lobster roll even cheaper than you can get it there, and it's still somehow a fresh New England lobster.
Yeah, that makes no sense, but here we are. But again, you know, Arizona's so far away, but yet they ship stuff like that.
Because nothing is far away when you factor in airplanes. It's 3,000 miles. That's about 6 hours.
Yeah. All right. So NASCAR, have you done any Project Car stuff?
I have not, actually. I had tons for last week. This week, I have not done anything. So, negative. 0.0. I did some scale car stuff. We can have that at the end.
Yeah. Well, because we went away for the weekend to go to the race, I didn't do much. I did a little bit to the Volvo. I did a couple more things or ran. I did the heated core lines because I went under the dash. You have to disconnect them under the dash and then push them through. So I've got those set up. I did some of the fuel line, the carburetors. That's kind of run. The bolts I needed came in, and I mounted the O2 sensor, wideband O2 sensor controller to the firewall. I had already marked and drilled and installed riv nuts for it. So that's all set up. So we're getting very, very close. And when I have some more time, I'll go over there and hopefully start finishing up, getting it close to starting up. But still, try to do it before the winter. I didn't intend for this to take about a year, but it seemingly is going to take about a year because it was October of last year I started taking the engine apart. So here we are. That's it. That's just the way projects go sometimes. But it's getting there, and it'll eventually be done.
Every project takes
That's
probably
pretty much all I've got.
twice as long as you think it's going to take. So I think that a year is a pretty good timeline.
Yeah. It's definitely cost more than I thought, but that's all right.
It's also due to certain
It's only
choices
money.
that you made versus other choices. You definitely could have done it for less money, but you wanted to do it a certain way, and that's the way it went.
Well, yeah, the engine was. I didn't think the machine work would be that much, but that's how much machine work is these days. It's expensive. So, yeah, that's really all I've got for project car updates. I don't know. So you have no project car updates?
No, I haven't actually touched any physical car that's a full scale car. I've been working on an RC car all week.
Oh yeah.
So I have a new Tamiya every time. A new Tamiya, the Hornet Evo I picked up I don't know, probably 3 weeks ago. Been finishing that up the past couple of days. I wanted a new RC car just because I got hooked when I built that Grasshopper, a year ago or so. And
Yeah.
I decided that
You did it to me, and I did it right back to you.
So I decided I was going to modify the Grasshopper to make it work better. And then I said, you know what? I think I want to buy the Hornet Evo because it's essentially the Grasshopper chassis with a bunch of upgrades to make it work like a modern RC car. So instead of upgrading the old style chassis, I'll keep that one as like my full nostalgia machine because it runs and drives like my old one. And this one here is better than a modified Grasshopper would have been because of all the engineering that I put into the kit. So the big difference is the very large difference is that the Grasshopper, part of the Hopper series of cars, the name is Hopper because they bounce all over the place because they just have spring shocks and a solid rear end with independent front end, but when the suspension collapses in the front, it changes the camber of the wheels drastically and the car bump steers like mad. The Hornet is the same, but the Hornet Evo is the new version of it that came out, and it has fully independent suspension with equal length control arms in the front, so it works like a real car and doesn't have massive camber changes through its stroke. And the rear, instead of being a solid axle, is independent and works just a lot better. So it's actually pretty amazing how well it works. It reminds me a lot of the next gen that you have, the DTO4, I guess that is. So it works very similarly because it's a modified DTO2, which is the Tamiya chassis code for one of their older buggies, but it's a modified version of that rear suspension and engine or motor setup. So that's why it drives probably similar to your next gen, which is a DTO4 chassis. But I haven't finished the body yet. I don't want to run it fully until I finish the body.
Yeah, that was basically for the 40th anniversary of the Evo, of the Hornet. They came out with the Evo version.
Yeah.
So just to make you feel old.
So the Hornet and the Grasshopper, like I said, they're the same tub chassis, and the earlier versions of them were very similar as far as how they handled and drove. They were just slight modifications between each. So the cool thing is that all these parts that make the Hornet Evo could easily be slapped on a Grasshopper kit. So if you bought a Grasshopper body and a couple other parts, you could basically make like a Grasshopper Evo. Would be kind of neat to do as well, I think.
I think I saw someone there is a kit I wasn't aware of it. Like there's a turbo Grasshopper that has some hop up parts for it. Like the 540 maybe came with it or something.
There's 3 or 4 Grasshoppers that are like special editions.
I'd never seen it before. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think even that gearbox, even like my next gen is a DTO4, and I think at some point it might even be the DTO3 gearbox, but which maybe has roots to the DTO2. Like it's very there's parts that they pulled all the way through to the newest one, so some crossover. Which that's a really fun kit to run. Like, and I bought it because it's nice and modern, and the parts are being made still, and it's more of a basher than I didn't want to play too hard with my wild one because it's a little more fragile. But yeah, still super super fun. Like I had mine out the other day. Marco had a holiday at school, so the public schools were closed, and we went out in the afternoon to the park, and he was riding the scooter around, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring the RC car there because it's a nice day, and I bet nobody's around. And yep, nobody was around at the park, so we were driving the RC car around the park and on the basketball court and tennis courts and out in the grass, and super fun.
Good place to do it at a big
Good
park.
place to use it. Yep. A little more space in our backyard.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I need to paint the body.
Anything
I need to
else
paint the
on
body
scale
and do a
cars?
couple of other final, adjustments on it. But it's done otherwise, and I can't wait to go run it. So, photo updates to come.
Yeah. The only thing I've gotten, I got I finally opened the box of the Tarmac Works. It's one of the Mitsubishi trucks they have with the back, but they did a Liberty Walk livery on it for the Ken Mary Skyline. That's the Liberty Walk one with all the graffiti paint on it. And I happen to have the Mini GT of that I bought at the Liberty Walk store because apparently it was an exclusive at the store. Maybe you can get it elsewhere. I'm not sure. But yeah, I thought that was cool. And I put those two together. And then I got a little display Lawson's in that scale to remind me of my trip to Japan. So that's the scale diecast stuff I've got. And then as I sit here and I look, and I've got some other RC stuff I have to finish, but I'm like, that's a wintertime activity when I don't have things to do on the Volvo. So that's basically why I haven't touched any other RC stuff at the moment, like painting bodies, or because I've still got that Piero Montero, that's the Element Utron kit that I need to finish the body on it. But again, it's like I can either spend time on that or I can spend time finishing the Volvo. So I'd rather finish the Volvo at the moment because all this stuff is like things that I can do inside in my basement when it's not nice out.
Which is probably why I'm building the kit that I'm building
That's what I
now,
got
because
going
it's
on.
summertime here and I don't want to be outside.
Yeah, it's a good reason. And then I'm looking over in the box too. I've got that. Now that I know that I've got a big open area that's fairly deserted most of the time, like tennis courts, I'm like, I should rebuild that FFO2, that FFO1 I have, the other one, into a runner so I can run a front wheel drive around on some pavement.
Yes, you should.
So, other car news? Another big car news this week? Do you know what it is?
Like new modern car news?
No, just general car news, enthusiast car news.
I don't think I do.
The designer of the Miata.
Oh,
Tom
I was thinking
Latano
positive, I
passed
guess,
away.
and that's not a positive story.
Yeah, I guess that's, I could see where you're coming from that, but yeah. So this man was considered the father
He
of
also
the Miata. And he
designed
passed
the
away at
FDR7.
76. Oh, okay.
So that's
I
a
didn't know
heck of
that.
a pair of cars to be responsible for. And what was cool about him was that he was also
pretty cool.
still very enthusiastic about it. Like he still went to all of the like Southern California Miata meets, and he'd go to like JCCS, and he would always, sign cars and memorabilia and hang out with fans. And he liked to sit in modified Miatas and like ask you why he did the things he did. And right up until like right before he passed. So he's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Especially because you could easily see someone who designed it be like, I don't want to talk about that car anymore. Everybody wants to talk to me about that car, and I'm really annoyed with it. But it is really cool when somebody's not like that, and they really enjoy that everybody cherishes the thing that they created, and finds great joy in them. So that's pretty cool. We can all hope that you can create something like
So
that
go
that
back to
everybody loves.
school
I
and become a
guess.
designer, and then get a job for Mazda, and you go on your way.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So
I
yeah,
promise I'll have more for next. I
that's
promise
all
I'll have
I've
more for
got for
next
car
week.
news
I
this week.
have a disgusting amount of parts sitting here for 3 cars. So I have to get stuff done because this is the last weekend before the busy car season starts here. Next weekend we have the Japanese car show in Williams, and then something else is happening, and then my rally's on the 25th, and then there's something else the first week of November, and it goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. So I have to get a bunch of stuff done, and I have a big box of parts just came today for the 944. I have some stuff for the Mercor, and I have to do the air conditioning compressor still in the Eclipse. And I still, shameful of shames, because I haven't been outside, haven't finished pulling the block out of the Corolla. So there's a lot to do, and I want to get that all done. So next week there'll be some updates of what all that is.
Yeah, we've got so this Sunday is a Beverly Mass, Beverly PD Police benefit car show at Lynch Park. Our mutual friend we have puts that on, and my dad does the music for it. So I'm probably gonna drive as seeing since the uh, Volvo's not done and I didn't get to my mom's Beetle yet. I'll probably drive his Pontiac over for him because he's got to use his vehicle to take all his DJ equipment over. So I'm gonna take his '65 Pontiac out for a ride on Sunday. So that'll be kind of cool. And then the following weekend, there is a car show at Salem High School, like a kind of a Halloween themed car show because it's in Salem. But it's also the same day as Japanese Car Day at Lars Anderson. So I'm going to go check that out instead because I missed it last year because we had soccer on Sundays for little kids, but now it's moved to Saturday for slightly older kindergartens kids. So I now have Sunday available to go to the car show. And I guess last Sunday at Lars Anderson, they did a retro event. That's
Radwood
kind of
inspired.
like, I hate to say like Radwood inspired, but really anybody can do a retro car show. And I've been threatening to do one for many, many years and I never do it. So shame on me. But, that's like the type of car show that I would like to see more of that doesn't, and the pictures I saw out of it looked really cool. And had it not been the same weekend as NASCAR, I absolutely would have gone. And hopefully it's not the same weekend. It was actually earlier in the year, I think, and it rained, like a rare rain day, and they moved it to this weekend. So it looked pretty good. I hope they do it
Yeah, it
again.
was a pretty
'Cause I
good
wanna
time.
go.
There's a bunch of cars there that I wasn't even familiar with, so that was cool.
Yeah. All right. You want to do
One hundred
something we haven't
percent.
done in a while?
I'm ready for this. I'm here for this.
All right. All right. We're gonna do a Craig. Don't tell me. Who wants to go first?
Being as you're asking, I'm the only one that can answer. I guess I should say I'll go first.
Well, you could
I will not
say
defer.
you
I
can
will
go
go
first,
first.
or I want to go first. So
So, am I reading first?
you'll go first. All right. So I was just gonna ask that. What does that mean? Does that mean you're reading first, or if I'm quizzing you first?
Sure.
Why don't you want to read first? I'll let you read first.
You're right.
Because I'm usually worse at this than me.
Here we go.
So let's get my
For
terribleness
sale
out of
is
the way.
this blank in the most desirable color, black and gold. Opportunity Knox in Arizona. California built blank, spent its whole life in Missouri, now available in Arizona. L69 V8 HO with dual snorkel 4-barrel carburetor. 5-speed manual. Borg Warner 9-bolt, code GS4. Aussie traction, code G80. Original paint. One of only 1,665 made in blank year. And one of the only 3 years of the dual snorkel L69 V8. This truly is a rare car. In blank year, not many 5-speeds were made. Second owner, this car was purchased from its original owner of blank years. Car is in beautiful condition, and interior is almost perfect. Mileage is documented and a little over 25,000. All tires new last year. This is a extremely collectible blank. Original everything with little mileage. Very rare. Cars of this rarity will only continue to increase in value. Get it while it's cheap. And I will tell you, it is not cheap.
Okay. All right. So it's a GM product. Did it say it was built in California or sold
spent
in
its whole life in
California?
Missouri?
Is that what?
Not positive. And now available in Arizona.
Oh. Okay. Black and gold. I mean, the 5-speeds really throw me. I want to say it's a Trans Am, but I don't know if it's a 5-speed.
I will throw something out to you that you are
And-
correct, but you're thinking of the wrong car.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Okay.
If you know what I
Okay.
mean.
No,
you were correct,
So it's
but
a
you're
Fiero.
thinking of the wrong car.
Yeah, so it's a Fiero.
It's not a Fiero.
Oh, I'm correct, but it's not a Fiero.
I didn't say it wasn't the Trans Am.
It's
I said
not a
you're
Trans
thinking
Am.
of the wrong car.
No. Yeah, the black and gold is what I'm tripping me out. I'm thinking it's a bandit car, but I don't think they ever came in 5 speeds.
You are correct.
I thought they were only 4
So that's why I don't want to give you the win because you're only halfway there because you're thinking of the entirely wrong. The wrong car's in your head. But it is a Trans Am.
Really?
So based on that, there we go.
So it's a 3rd gen.
Yeah, it's an early 3rd gen.
Okay. Well, so that's what's
L69.
So what's the
which is
engine
a
code?
305, I think, because the car is a 5-speed, and I think only the 305 came with a 5-speed. But it's an early one, so it's an 85, so it's still a 4-barrel carburetor. It's not fuel injected yet.
Okay. I was like kind of I was split. I'm like, is this a 70s Trans Am or a 3rd gen? But I'm like, I don't know what the L69 is. That sounds like a earlier V8. So they really threw me for a loop there by using the L69 and not just calling it a 305.
Yeah, for sure.
305 would have been like, yeah, it's a
The
3rd
ad
gen,
may have said
no
305,
doubt.
and I may not have
Because
said
the
it because
5-speed.
I would have also given it away.
But okay, yeah. I mean, all the other stuff when you say like Posi traction, all that stuff, you're like, all right, I'm in
It's
the
very
GM
clean.
product, so
Yeah, it is not affordable though. It is $27,950 for an 85 Pontiac Trans Am.
You know, I just saw an 89 LX notchback Fox body mint here in Peabody on Craigslist. Ad wasn't good enough for this, but 30 grand.
They can ask whatever they want.
So I don't know. Maybe these cars are that much. All right.
All right, I'm listening.
Let's give this one a try. I'll read this one to you. Okay. Here is a really nice blank 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 in bronze, color code 62, rebuilt 1592cc engine, brakes, front end with new carpets, interior, fascia painted new tires and windows, hardtop, upgraded to fully synchronized transmission, refinished wood steering wheel, re-chromed bumpers and overriders, fuel tanks, plural, have been cleaned and sealed with POR 15. Also has a brand new Weber 3236 carburetor. Drive it home.
I think that's a 1971
I don't know if that's enough for you.
MGB. 1969 MGB.
So close. Small roadster, not an MGB.
What was the engine size? 1500?
You'd be really smart if you got this. It's
So it's
1592.
a Healy Sprite. The problem is all of these cars fit the same description.
Not quite.
They're all like the stays share the same engine, the same parts, the same things. I don't know which one
They
have
do.
dual tanks. That's the only thing that's really tripping me up. I said a Sprite. I said MGB. 1500 is actually too small for an MGB, I think. But it would be a Sprite or a Midget, or smart thing here is not
Well,
helping
you'd
me
have to be
'cause it's
really
making me think of like
you'd
a
have to be really
smart
smart
roaster
to
from the
get this.
2000s. And I was like, yeah, probably.
Oh, you're gonna be so mad when you find out.
Instantly, actually. No, I'm actually already mad about it.
I mean, sometimes it feels like this
Oh,
podcast is in the
Jesus.
cone of
So
sound.
it's a Sunbeam
That's just what
Sunbeam
I'm saying.
Alpine. Okay. So, yeah,
Yes.
sure. Yep. I
Yeah.
get it.
You'd be really smart if you got
get smart. Yeah. Yes, that's deep trivia too that a lot of people probably wouldn't have gotten. So, because that show is not exactly what I would call topical at this moment in time in 2025. So, I did watch it.
It's not,
Yes.
but I know
watched it recently.
I
and
know
have
you
the
watched
DVD
it.
set, but that's beside the point. And should have got it. But like I said, that's the issue with those cars of that country in that era. That description was not wrong for almost any of those except for the dual tank part. So, and my lack of really obscure knowledge of obscure British cars made me not know which one had a dual tank. So now I know. If I want to buy a small British car to go drive far with, I'll buy a Tiger or an Alpine because it has 2 tanks.
It's a really pretty looking car
they're
in
amazing
that bronze color, and it has a factory hardtop.
Oh, all right. You ready?
It's cool.
How many?
$10,500, but yeah,
Doesn't seem too bad.
10,500.
All right. Yeah, $10,000 for a decent,
actually,
clean running car is reasonable, I think, now in 2025. All right, here we have a all blank, price drop, blank in original preserved condition, 65,000 miles, 4-speed, strong Buick 350 V8, early Holley fuel injection, manual drum brakes and manual steering, 3/4 ton GVW, new Falcon MT tires, straight rust-free body except for a dent in the hood, no AC. Previously from Idaho, acquired from a California collector. I've owned it for 2 years in Arizona. Strong runner, no rust. Camper shell can go with or without. Gash on the hood from backing into my gate opener. Asking blank or best offer.
Interesting. Camper shell. Buick 350. Is that what it said? Oh. Are we talking like a early Land Rover
We are not talking about. We are not talking
with a camper
about
shell on
an
it?
early Land Rover with a
It's got a
camper shell on
Buick
it. We're talking about a
engine?
different vehicle with a Buick V8, Buick 350 V8. I think the 315 was in the Land Rovers.
Oh, okay. Man, camper shell and Buick, because I don't know of any trucks that Buick made. Maybe there's some obscure truck that they made, or this
As
must
far
be an
as I
engine
know, this
swapped
is the engine
thing.
that came in this
Is
vehicle.
this engine swapped?
Yeah, I just
Whoa,
looked it
okay.
up to confirm, and it is. Yes, this is how it's made.
Wow.
It's a 350 cubic inch, 5.7 liter Dauntless V8.
So, all right, V8, 4-speed, camper shell. My goodness. What would that be?
Your other engine options, other engine options would have been a
You got me
238
stumped
cubic
here.
inch Tornado inline six, or a 360 cubic inch V8.
All right. So is this like
You are significantly closer than you were with
Scout pickup
International or
truck?
with Land Rover.
Maybe. All right. So we've got off brands, International. Ooh.
No, that's the name of the pickup truck. You already guessed that.
Is it International Harvester?
International Harvester is the company, and
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, so we're at a Okay, okay, okay. So then this is a
yes,
would
it
this been
is.
like a Jeep, early Jeep
I'll give it
pickup
to
truck
you
with a camper shell?
because you guessed everything else. Process of elimination. That's all that was left. Yes, it's a Jeep Gladiator.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was just trying to. Yeah, I was just trying to think of. I see. I get really lost with the obscure stuff like that from the '60s, where it was like, especially it was like Jeep was doing all kinds of
Yeah,
weird
they had a
stuff
couple of their
using
own,
different
and then they
engines from
had
different people,
AMCs
right?
or
We've talked
Buicks or
about this
Chryslers.
before.
In this particular
Like it's
vehicle, which is the Gladiator.
what a night. What a nightmare. Can you imagine even like now at least you have the computers to try to figure out what parts go in what vehicle, but I can't
I'm
imagine
sure it
trying
was
to do
listed
that back
properly
then
in
with
the
paper
catalog.
catalogs. Like somebody tell you, yeah, but somebody's like, yeah, I have the V8 one. You're like, well, which V8 do you have?
Anyway, $11,500. It's actually my neighbor's truck. I see it sitting in his yard, and I dig it. I'm not gonna buy it, but I dig it.
It's pretty cool. You already got a cool truck, so. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. You ready for this one? All right. Blank, blank, blank. Runs and drives, but engine and transmission both very tired and need to be redone. 360 FE, Cruise-O-Matic 3-speed auto. Other than drivetrain, car's ready to go. New brakes, new brake lines, exhaust, radiator, lots of new front end parts. If you have a blank drivetrain to swap in, you could be cruising this car shows in the fall. Like I said, it does drive, but trans is erratic. Engine has lots of blow by. Comes with, if you want it, a 352 FE that needs to be redone. but it has better heads and a 4-barrel intake, other miscellaneous FE parts, and the crank rods, pistons for 390. Goal was to have the engine machine and turned over 390, and have the trans rebuilt. Very little rust, and one of the most solid blank I've ever seen. Swap the engine and trans and have a killer car.
So a 360 FE is a Ford V8.
Not much
And
to
if
go
I'm
on.
not mistaken, it's a pre-smog
Yep.
engine. Like they didn't exist, I don't think, in like the mid 70s. So it's a late 60s probably, maybe even mid 60s. I don't know what years were what, like when it went from a smaller to the larger. So I don't think the 360 would have been available in early FEs. So probably 1965 Thunderbird. Am I close in the model or
Really
the year?
close.
So 1965 Ford Fairlane.
Nailed the year. But
Yeah, same car.
I mean,
Trim
I'll basically
differences.
give it to you. It's Galaxy
Those are
500.
cool. I really like the 62, 63 years on those cars, but a 65 also cool.
This is a cool looking car. Guy took some nice pictures of it. Door paint's a little mismatched. If you threw a 4-speed on the floor in this thing and fix the engine, be real, real cool. A little bit pricey, I think, if it needs engine, all that engine work.
If it's a
at
two-door
$8,000, but I don't know.
fastback
I don't know
style,
what cars are worth anymore.
So yeah, that's about right.
It is a 2-door. Yep. Bench seats. It's maroon over red. It's pretty cool.
All right.
It's definitely got the look.
Last car from my collection here. You got to say a brand name in this, but I don't understand why it says it unless it's been engine swapped, but let's say it is. So anyway, good luck. Yeah, it must be engine swapped. Now I'm looking at it. All right. Blank, blank, blank. Clean title. Fully built. Big
All right.
turbo. No, this is not a blank. And no, this was not made for the US. It is just so much better. Its dead giveaway of not being the US model is its hood scoop, so you know it's a turbo from the factory. Imported from Japan. Right-hand drive. Highly modified, ready for off-roading. Big turbo, forged internals, 2-step anti-lag. HON data. That's going to throw you for a loop there. Fuel injection, fuel regulator, new paint, LED lights. Gross. Adjustable 4x4.
Okay.
Approximately 25,000 miles. Yeah, everything else is unimportant, I think, to the actual listing. Only thing it needs is a headliner, if you even care about that. Thermostat's starting to leak a tiny bit, and the stereo's been removed. Car pulls hard and is quick. It's tuned appropriately and geared low. Not meant for long highway drives. So much I'm not including here, come see for yourself. Cost over $10,000 just to build and tune this. Not including the low mileage example. This is a gem. If you want some more, ask away. A pristine example on these stock goes for blank, unmodified. Comes with a car cover, no trades. I don't need help selling. Yes, that's all the stuff. So it's going to be a little bit confusing because the engine is swapped.
Ooh, okay.
So
it's a car. Yes. All right, but it's a car, but it's ready for off-roading.
Nope, it's
And
earlier
it's been
than that.
engine
It's
swapped
old
to
G
likely
series
a
single cam
Honda.
with a big
It's probably
turbo.
a K20 swap, maybe. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. So then, is it a
It is not a Honda at all.
four-wheel drive Honda wagon from the 80s? Are they Wago vans? What do they call those? Really? Okay.
So actually,
Hood
I'm
scoop
zooming in
tells you it has a
now on
turbo.
this engine in this car. It might not be engine swapped. It might
wouldn't
not be a
be-
Honda engine. It just looks like an old D series because it's very basic looking. It might be the original engine, just with tuned on an aftermarket fuel injection tuning from Honda somehow. So it's not a Honda engine. It is the original
Oh, okay.
1.6, probably.
Then that. All right. So maybe
It is not
is it a Toyota Celica?
adjustable 4x4, too low, too high, etc.
Okay.
It is not a Toyota.
Oh, the Toyota Tercel wagon thing with the pull drive. Gosh darn it. Then it's
It is not a Subaru.
It's a
The
Subaru?
Subaru engine would not trick me for a
It wouldn't be
Honda
a
engine.
Subaru. That wouldn't
Yeah,
make
it said
sense.
Honda in it.
No, it wouldn't. No.
I just
Selecting
confirmed by
full
Google
drive.
image searching that is the factory engine in this car. It just has Honda tuning. This is a weird one. I'm not gonna lie. I
Not
threw
doing
you
it
down the
this
Honda
night.
path.
Is it some sort of
Well, get off car. That's where you're basically
Suzuki
wrong. It's a
car?
It's a car-sized SUV, but it's a tin top Jimny or
Oh,
Samurai.
Okay.
It's very, very cool.
Oh, okay. So that's what threw me off was the ad said car.
I think one more for me.
That does sound really cool.
$10,000.
All right. Yep. What do they want for that Jimny?
Yeah, it sounds actually very reasonable. It looks like it has a
all that
fairly
work,
fresh
it
paint
sounds
job on
like
it.
losing money.
It's got brand new tires on it. It looks really cool. I would definitely drive it for $10,000. Yep.
All right. You ready for the next one? This ad's actually pretty good. They titled the second paragraph here, "The Story." Offered
So
for
it's a support
sale
with
is
a
a car that
talking
needs no introduction
box.
because it speaks for itself. So there you go. Pristine condition, blank. Yeah, exactly. A pristine condition, blank, blank, blank. 3-door hatchback with manual transmission in its most iconic color, black.
It's
Let's
a
see.
first-gen GTI.
Yeah, they're telling you about driving it in the summertime.
Signature black. Nope.
Not quite. An OEM turbo intercooler kit has been installed by a blank Master Tech.
Was working till it
car's equipped
didn't.
with air conditioning. Was working well until it decided to remove the belt that runs the AC compressor. Okay. Yeah. Including the sale price is a set of OEM rear window louvers. And a sunroof visor. So 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo, 8-valve, manual transmission, front-wheel drive. Period correct Kenwood head
In
unit.
tan, I bet.
Aluminum alloy wheels. Crushed velour seating surfaces, turbo steering wheel, Euro H4 flat nose conversion with OEM parts.
So it's a Shelby GLH
Yeah,
Omni.
that's about it. Without giving out too much more.
Really? Signature black 3-door. That'd be a 5-door. Never mind.
No.
Signature black had me at first gen Rabbit GTI, but then I said that before you said turbo. Turbo got me onto Omni, especially with signature black. So what was a 3-door hatch in signature black? He didn't say anything about the transmission, but he said he couldn't give any more away. So is it a twin stick? Is it a Colt turbo? No. 3-door hatch with a turbo.
Mm-mm. Yep. It is European.
That doesn't help yet. Did you say it was front drive or rear drive? Did it say in the ad? You know, I'm telling you if it didn't. Okay. So is it a Fuego? So it's a Renault
It is
Fuego.
front-wheel drive. Yep, front-wheel drive. It is front-wheel drive. It did say in the ad. Yeah.
All right.
Nope.
Signature black.
No.
3-door hatch. Front-wheel drive turbo.
Yep.
Yeah, there was every car in the 80s.
Comes with optional rear window louvers.
Man. Factory turbo front-wheel drive is what's killing me. And then that signature black isn't helping. There were a bunch of weird cars, but I can't think of any of my signature black. Is it a car that was sold in the U.S. market?
I don't know.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Apparently. It's a very obscure car.
It's an obscure car.
The rest of the ad, I guess, lines up for a Saab 900.
The
I'm slightly
ignition
annoyed because you started saying
is
it
in
as
a-
you started saying about what the
is in a-
ignition is, but I caught it before that.
That's it.
I forgot that was a 3-door hatch.
900 turbo.
It didn't sound like a Saab
82
in
Saab
the
900
ad
turbo.
initially, but I guess
Yeah.
I wouldn't really call
Yep.
an early 80s 900 signature color black either. I think that was more throwing me than anything else. The later cars are all
I think
dark
most
gray
of
and
them
black, but in
I
the
see are
early
black.
the early
the
80s
turbos,
ones were
or
not.
that gray.
I'd say silver would be more the iconic color of that car.
This is a cool car. It's got really cool crushed red velour seats.
3
it's got
slats in the hood for the
factory
turbo.
auxiliary gauges on the center part. Manual turbo.
I should get an early Saab just to be with.
Yeah, it's
because
real
you have the early
funky
Volvo.
looking car, but they're kind of cool.
No, I'd want
Like
one
an
I could
early
drive.
one.
I think
You
I'd
just
want
get
like
a
a
60s one,
early
two-stroke.
70s Saab 99.
That's more you. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, these are definitely interesting cars. I don't know if I'd pay 24 grand for this thing, but
That's a game, Andrew.
it's certainly a nice looking car.
I didn't keep score this time. I don't know who won. I think we both lost because we're rusty, and we gotta step it up next time. We'll call it tie. Fair game.
I think we did both those. I mean, I did save you from the. I'm going to I'll share it to the Discord. So I have a bunch of runner-ups that weren't quite good enough to make this cut, and I'll share them to the Discord in a couple days. Because I don't want to give this a game away until the episode airs. But the there's a good one that basically has a manifesto. It's a Ford van
wait to see
that
it.
has just this huge amount of writing about it. But it's pretty cool. Like an 87 E350 1-ton. Wasn't quite good enough for, I think, as a description for the game, but it's an interesting description just to read. But
Sounds like it.
anyway, yeah. I think that's a podcast, my friend. All right, cool. So, best place to hang out with us, come join the Discord. Just send us a message. We'll let you in. No big deal. Follow us on Off Topic on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, Race and Anger, Scale Autocast. I think I put some stuff up. Oh, yeah, I put a video up the other day of me
I
running
plan
the
on it.
RC car. So maybe you can go post some
You
pictures
can
of
find
your
me on Instagram
Hornet
at the
build,
same
Brad.
place, Auto Off Topic,
And
and
then, where can they find
the
you?
other one, Scale Autocast. And they can find me on my personal account at TSISS350.
All right, cool. So as always, keep cars analog and aim for the roses.